Good evening, folks. It's your bro. Rich here again. Uh, tonight, tonight's video is now an extended video of the previous Plymouth GTX video I'm doing. With that being said, let's just continue on from where I left off. With that being said, let's just continue from where I left off. The next part I was on was 1970. Proper classic years for muscle cars. Here we go. So the 1970 GTX 1970 GTX. So 1970 GTX 1970 GTX. Ow. 1970 GTX. Ow. Received a minor redesign. minor redesign. With a new grill and new grill and rear taillight. New grill and rear taillights. Sales were low as the car didn't look much different from the Roadrunner, which essentially didn't look the same as the Plymouth Roadrunner. But well, anyways, stylists made the lines, so they made the lines smoother, and a power bulge hood was introduced, as well as non-functional rear brake air scoops. The convertible body style is no longer available. The air grabber hood returned, but instead of the air grabber hood returned, but instead of having two narrow openings running lengthwise, as in 1969. It had one opening barrel. Not barrel. Hold on. So the air grabber hood returned. But instead of having two narrow openings running lengthwise, as in 1969, it had one opening scoop located on the power bulge. The GTX was available with the standard 7.2 liter, with the standard 7.2 liter, so 7.2 liter, 440, carbureted 4-barrel V8 motor. Options are obviously the same 7.2 liter 440 V8, but it's known as the 440 plus 6 barrels. So that means you get 3 of those 2-barrel carburetors. It's crazy. So optional were the 440 plus 6 barrel, and that means 3 two barrel, two barrel, two barrel carburetors. It says two barrel carburetors. If it would have made much more sense, they could have had like one 4 barrel and one 2 barrel. That would have made it 6 barrel, but oh well. 3 2 barrel carburetors just does the job as well. And 7 liter 426 Hemi V8. In keeping in keeping with the GTX, marketing strategy, marketing strategy. The in keeping with the GTX marketing strategy, the 1970 model, 1970 model, set 1970 model, included many standard features. The only other, so many standard features. The only other performance luxury model in Plymouth's lineup was the full-size Sport Fury GT, built on a C-body platform. So the Plymouth Fury, fantastic muscle car. So it was a Gen 5 from 1969 to Paul Walker's birth year, 1973. Rest in peace. So the only other performance luxury model in the only other performance luxury model in the only other performance luxury model in Plymouth's lineup was the full-size Sport Fury GT. So Sport Fury GT, built on the C-body platform. The GT is added to the lineup in 1970. Alright, so next we got is the motor. So we got 3 different versions of the V8. And then we got power, torque, and then the years. So, starting off with the very first one is the mighty 7 liter 426 Hemi. So that produces 400, so it's the most powerful out of these 3 V8s, so it makes 425 horsepower. So 425 horsepower, and 490 pound-feet. So 425 horsepower. Pretty good amount of power. It's a lot, literally for a big V8. 425 horsepower and 425 horsepower. So 425 horsepower and 490 pound-feet. So 490 pound-feet. 650 not 50, sorry. So 490 pound-feet. 660 newton meters of torque. Add extra 6 and you get 666, the devil's number. It says 660 newton meters of torque. Our years is obviously from 1968 to 1970. And from that same year, we got the 440 V8. So 7.2 liters. But it made just 50 less horsepower by only 375 horsepower. Just not bad, but yeah, I don't know. It's good enough. 375 horsepower is a lot. The only difference is a little bit less torque by just 10 pound-feet, 10 newton meters. So it's 480 pound-feet. 650 newton meters of torque. So 650 newton meters of torque. That's the same as both the 2021 BMW M3 G80 and an M4 G82. Both with the same engine and all that. So 480 pound-feet. 650 newton meters of torque. So 650 newton meters of torque. So both the 426 Hemi and the 440 were from the same year, 1968 to 1968 to 1970. And last but certainly not the very least, we got before we call it night is the 440 6-barrel V8. That's 7.2 liters. So 7.2 liter 440 6-barrel V8. I know more 4 barrels, but 6-barrel never known as a V8. Anyways, that made just a little bit more power than the original 440, but a little bit less than the 426, just by 35 horsepower less, but it made 390 horsepower. That's pretty good. So it's 15 more than the standard 440 V8. So 390 pound-feet. It makes the same torque as the 426. Anyways, so 390 horsepower and 490 pound-feet. So 390 horsepower and 400. So 390 horsepower. 390 horsepower. 390 horsepower, and so close to 400 horsepower. That's pretty good. So 390 horsepower, and so 390 horsepower and 490 pound-feet. 660 newton meters of torque. And of course the year was 1970. Alright, so that'll be it for tonight. So, for my next video will be about the Gen 3 from 1971. So, ow. Poked myself in the eye, sorry. So for my next video will be about the Gen 3 from 1971. So, 1971. Okay, so that'll be it. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Good night.